It's your weekly breakaway for fun conversations on pro cycling. Come and join us for another ride in the team bus. I'm Matt Harper, and together with my brother Justin, we'll do deep-ish dives on professional bike races, teams, riders, and all sorts of cycling-related stories. And we might just sprinkle in some other shiny pop cultural objects along the way. So jump in the saddle and tighten up those shoes. The road awaits. Allez!
Hello and welcome to the Team Bus. I'm Matt and this is my brother Justin, and today we're diving headlong into the 2025 Vuelta a Espana's first four stages. We're also going to get into some more stage racing action from around the men's pro peloton with recaps of the Renui Tour, the Tour de Limousin, and the Deutschland Tour. And as always, no Team Bus podcast would be complete without a ride in the Broom Wagon. Allez! All right. Well, Justin, the Vuelta a Espana 2025 is off to a rollicking good start, I'll wager. At least as far as I'm concerned, it's been fun. We've had four stages, two of them sprints, one of which was not a big surprise, the second of which was kind of a surprise. We've also had two really cool uphill finishes, and I've been very pleased with the outcomes of both of those. Let's start on stage one, I guess.
I think this felt like exactly what you expected it to be. Perfect opening stage. What a really, really nice, just an appetizer of things to come, in my opinion. I was enamored with the Burgos kit right off the bat. All right, like, we can get into the racing, but early on, like, I clocked that Burgos kit with the pink bike, and I was like, oh my god, I hope these guys are in every breakaway. All right,
I'll have to go take a closer look at that because the aesthetics escape me at the moment. The kit that I'm really excited about in this race is Lotto.
Yeah, Lotto's kit. They used that earlier in the season too.
They did?
Yes. During the classics.
It's awesome. I absolutely love it. It's like it's evocative of a couple of different like classic kits of yore. Yeah, Philipsen makes it 2 out of 2 in terms of Grand Tours. First day Grand Tours. This year, even though his Tour de France was obviously a giant disappointment, all things considered. We've already discussed this ad nauseum. I mean, considering what he got out of the Tour de France for the number of days he actually participated, pretty good. A stage win and a day in yellow.
And a day in green.
And a day in green, not too shabby. So, yeah, 2 leaders jerseys and a stage win, and he was in less than 25% of that race. Not bad. But sure enough, opening day on Vuelta a Espana, and his team just gives him that absolutely stone cold, solid as a rock lead out.
Plankert was just beasting the lead out for him.
Yeah, this Plankert guy, he's like the new Van Poppel. Except without all the cheating.
Did you?
we'll get into that
later. Yeah. All right. Did you see in my comments that I put a little link in there for this stage?
I don't know. When did you put it in? I thought I watched most of your links.
It was the on bike footage.
No, actually, I did not watch that.
We should just take a quick edit break, let you watch that, and come back, because it's going to give you a really, really neat perspective.
Hello and bonjour.
I just clicked on it. Let's just keep talking while
just
letting it roll through.
You don't even need to have the sound
this isn't
on.
even it. But that wasn't it.
But yeah, so what you're watching is on bike footage from Plankert, all right, looking back at Philipsen, all right, and it is, you can literally see when Philipsen, like when they start to go really, really fast, and like the slingshot effect that Phillipsen gets off of him going out to win the sprint.
Yeah, yeah. This is awesome. That's like being right in there.
Oh yeah, it is one of the coolest things that I've ever seen.
I was noticing on stage 4, it's interesting too when the camera starts like bouncing back and forth. When it looks like Phillipsen is bouncing back and forth, it's actually because Plankert is up there out of the saddle
Yes.
doing this number, giving him the final lead out. So his camera is actually
Well,
the thing that's
Phillipsen
bouncing back
also
and forth.
picks up the pace at that point too, though. They both pick up the pace at
Yeah.
that
Oh
point.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Really, really cool.
I was noticing in today's sprint, we'll get to stage 4 in a sec, but like when they showed that front on view, you could see him doing a lot of shouting. Like I think when they're in the midst of it, it's like
Yes,
he has to keep shouting
he's-
to let his guy know where he's at. Like I'm
Yes.
still on your left, on your left, on your left. You know, like because man, it's hairy.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
dicey.
Oh yeah. But I mean, I think this stage went as expected. Where I'd love to know where Mads Pedersen was in this. He really was nowhere to be seen. So
Yeah, he was non-existent. We're really surprising. I don't know. It's the Mads Pedersen story is actually kind of the most interesting thing that's happening when you're talking about expectations versus reality. We'll be talking about that more in the next couple of stages. But
well, and I also
Yeah,
I think it's an interesting juxtaposition between both of their fast men right now have not been performing well. Where they really, really performed well early in the season, they are not having a lot of success as of late. All right, and it's interesting, especially in the mirror of the Deutschland Tour, and with this, neither of them, Pedersen or Milan, are doing very well right now at Little Trek. So
but one could say though that like that's just fine because when the chips were really down, Pedersen bossed the Giro and Milan bossed the Tour de France, and if neither one of them is there in the third Capital 3 Grand Tour of the year, maybe not that big of a deal.
Maybe not.
And also, we're only 4 stages into this thing.
This is true.
You know what I mean? Like anything could happen. That's why the Mads Pedersen story, I think, is because you remember 5 days ago when everybody in the world was like, "Oh, Mads Pedersen's about to wipe this thing clean on the sprinting side, on the green jersey side."
Even we
But-
did, but we also did not know that Phillipsen was going to be there on the last
This is true.
episode. All
This is
right.
true.
And I was very curious to see how Phillipsen's going to come back from a collarbone 5 weeks ago. All right. And obviously, it's not bothering him because he's looked very, very good.
And I'll tell you what, I feel like Jasper Philipsen has been in the shadow of Tim Merlier all season when you're talking about the top sprinters in the pro peloton.
I would agree with that.
He has not been as productive as he has been in years past. And yet, at the same time, let's look at this man's 2025. All right. You remember how he started 2025, right?
Refresh my memory.
He won Milan San Remo.
Oh,
Okay, so
this is true.
He started by getting a monument.
Yes,
Okay.
this is true.
He got the opening stage win in the Tour and the Vuelta. Now, the Tour, he's already got many stage wins in. I don't know if he had any Vuelta stage wins or not, but now he's got 2 out of 3.
And he's
So
got
he's-
leader jerseys in both.
And he's got leader jerseys in both. So this year, he put on the wall Milan San Remo. He put a yellow jersey on his trophy case. He put a red jersey on his trophy case. He got a handful of wins, and he got wins in Grand Tours. Like, that is not a bad season.
No, not at all.
And in a way, you could say Jasper's been having a tough season.
Yeah, this is
You
true.
know what I mean?
This is true.
It's crazy. So you
So
got to give the man props.
I trust me. I was the one that was singing his praises going into the tour and saying, watch out. And I really still believe that had it not been for that wreck, that we would have seen a hell of a lot more out of him in the tour.
Yeah.
And
it
especially
makes
with
sense.
that lead out, man. Those guys at Alpecin are just, they've got the lead out thing down.
Yeah, that is the Classics team. They're the Quick Step of 2025. Like
Yeah,
they're
100%.
they're the team that Quick Step, which is they were. That Quick Step was 5 years
T-Rex.
ago, six years. Yeah, T-Rex. So,
Um,
well, let's and I did want to make one architectural note from stage one. Did you catch the cathedral in that town?
I did. But did you catch the Fiat factory with the racetrack on top?
Oh, we're going to talk the Fiat factory. Sure, we
Okay.
can we can take that diversion right now if you want to.
It-
Did you see the stuff I added to your notes?
yes, and I did. I went in and watched that.
Yeah, there's so much good Fiat stuff. Was that on the same stage?
Yes, that was stage one. It was in Torino, in
Well,
Italy.
let me mention the cathedral, which is just this beautiful cathedral in the finishing town. And what was cool was like you could see very clearly that like there was the there was the earlier part of the cathedral, which was like the main thing. It was all like this like brown stone and stuff like that, and then just like jutting out of the top of the roof of this cathedral is this just ungodly tall spire in the middle that's like a completely different architectural style. It's like a whole different like color of stone. I mean, it works, you know what I mean, but it's
It looks like it
very
was added 100 years
idiosyncratic.
later.
Exactly, or 200 years later or something. And it's enormous though. It's so phallic, it's ridiculous. A giant penis poking out the top of this church. It's wild. Um, but really cool looking. It reminded me of the whatever the one is that's in London, the big dome in London. Was that St. Peter's, St. Paul's, St. Paul's maybe? Anyways, um, let's talk Fiat.
Dude.
Get
So
into that because you were the one that had that in your notes and I only
they
stumbled upon it.
it was like in the beginning, and they focus on it, and both Bob and Christian are like, "Pfft, I don't know what that is. It looks like a racetrack on top of a building, and it's
Oh, they
not.
didn't know it. They
No,
didn't. Neither of them knew what it was.
no.
Oh, I love that. I
And
love that.
then later on, somebody must have tweeted Christian and told him that it's the old Fiat factory that has a racetrack, a test track on top. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah, the old Fiat factory. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We knew that. And played it off." But
They probably did. They just didn't
yeah, right.
recognize it when they saw it.
So what it is it's the old Fiat factory. It's not like a shopping mall or something like that, but Fiat would literally test their cars on the roof of the factory.
Right. It's like they have this factory that's it's in a city. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
like in
And
a town.
so
Yeah,
so that they don't have to like build their cars in the factory and then spend time driving the cars out to the country to go to what they're like, nah, we're gonna design a building that is roughly oval shaped, and the top of the building we're going to kit out to be a race course, and then we're going to build. You watch that video
yeah,
I
with the
shot I
elevators
sent,
and stuff.
and you can see that it's like, well, it's like in a parking garage basically. Like the inside of this building, this factory has got a purpose built like ramp that runs around just like you're going up a parking garage, um, ramp all the way to the roof of the building. And like, this is a fact, like people are working in here
Oh yeah,
and yet they're driving cars to the middle of this thing up to the top and they're racing them and testing them around the roof of the building, which is like a fully like built out racetrack,
full
like
high
with
banks and
wooden,
everything.
yeah,
Yes,
high banks, wooden slats, like the
it
whole
was
deal.
crazy.
Totally insane to think that like, and this is just like a part of their everyday business. They're
Yes,
always up there like testing cars and whatnot. So come to find out, this is not just their thing. There are a
yeah,
few other places where companies have built um, rooftop or otherwise sort of incorporated into the factory type racetracks, and it was really wild. So there was another one that was called Imperia. That was the one that was not like a rooftop setup, but it was like incorporated into their
yes,
factory. So they could probably just drive a car right off the factory floor and onto the test track, like
yes.
right there. And then the other one was, I can't remember. I didn't put in the note what the other one was. But there was another one that was on a roof. Um, yeah, really cool.
There was I had one other note from the stage, and if you get a chance, go back and look at it. But at 88K, the peloton hit this like insane stretch where they literally looked like they were single file. All right, and
I just think that looks so cool when that happens.
it's so wild, dude.
If you
Like
get like a helicopter shot, like a really wide helicopter shot, and it's like think about it. Sometimes that peloton is rolling along, and all 180 riders are packed into you know
Like
like
a
a football
13
field.
by 13, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
space.
like a half a football field, long wise, the whole group of them. And then at other times, it gets so stretched out, depending on how the road is, that the thing is like a mile long. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
dude, I'm telling
From
you,
the
it
guy in the front,
literally looked like they were
and
riding
somehow they
single
come
file. It
back
was
together. It's
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it when that happens. That's wild. That's like Peloton dynamics that I find fascinating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um, which is one of the beautiful things about this sport.
All right.
I
Well,
was just talking. I was just talking to somebody at the bar about this the other day, where we were comparing this to cycling to golf. That's one of the things that golf and cycling have in common. It's like in golf, you're not playing the same exact course every single week,
right.
like in basketball. Like you're out there, you get this course and that course, this hole, that hole, and everything is its own challenge. And I love the way cycling is like that. Every road is a new thing. There's something kind of new around every corner. You know what I mean?
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
So, yeah. So stage two, we get our first uphill finish, and we get what a lot of us were expecting, but sort of not in the way that we were expecting it. We got Jonas Vingegaard winning, but by 2 inches in a perfectly timed sprint.
Yes.
I thought I look back at my notes, and halfway through I'm like, oh boy, I got a feeling Jonas is just about to leash Armageddon on this whole thing right there, because he was just sat in the wheels the entire time, just chilling in like third wheel the entire way up that climb. Um, and I thought, this man's going to want to make an announcement like, I can do what Pogacar can do. I'm about to annihilate everybody here and go ahead and just gobble up 49 seconds on stage two and get the red jersey. And he did get the red jersey, but played it way, way cooler.
I don't think he needs to do that yet. I think he knows the way that this race is built. It's unnecessary. But he gave you a statement that, in my opinion, was a lot better. All right. Now, I want to rewind real fast, and you need to click the link that's on this stage. All right. Because if you didn't watch the other one, I know you didn't watch this one, and this one's even cooler than that one. All right. Once it gets going, you're going to see the on-deck camera footage of Vingegaard's crash at 13K, because it was raining on this stage.
Oh, damn. Look how far he slid.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can see it's like no big deal. That's the thing. Somebody was saying, I think one of Bob or Christian, they were like, yeah, wow, you could actually see him like the whole way through getting back up on his bike.
Yeah, him and Mateo had like a moment where they were just like sliding, facing each other.
Yeah,
For like probably 30 feet. It happens
yeah,
really quick, but they motor across that road.
oh yeah. Well, that was one of the things that one of either Bob or Christian was saying, was like, it's the interesting paradox of a rainy day. It makes it far more likely that you're going to go down, but it makes it far less dangerous when you do go down,
Yeah.
because like you just slide.
Yes.
And you could see that. I mean, they just slid
Well, and
along,
these roads
kind of
are
changed it up.
like, they look like glass when they're wet. Okay.
Yeah, Jonas kind of whacked his head.
He did. So the big thing from this crash is Axel Zingle. Okay, so Axel Zingle goes down. All right, and it's like he doesn't immediately get back on his bike. He ends
That
up
whole thing was wild.
he ends up getting into the ambulance, popping his shoulder back into socket. All right, gets out of the ambulance.
They did the shoulder before the
Yeah.
ambulance. They did the shoulder like right then and there, and then he stepped into the ambulance. They looked him over, and then he got back out.
When he gets out of the ambulance, his bike is gone. So he has to wait for a bike. So he finally gets the bike from the team car. Lerman gives him a push. All right, he gets back in the race. He finishes. Well, he goes to finish. He will eventually finish. How about when he's going in on the last 10K, he reaches back to his back to get a gel and pops it back out while he's riding.
Oh my God. Really?
Yes.
Well, he ended up leaving again. He left the race the next day, though, right?
Yes,
he was a DNS
he was
the
a
next
DNS.
day.
So,
Yeah. Well, not basically the entire Visma team goes down in that crash. There was one Visma rider that didn't go down, but basically they were all on the deck with 13K to go, and what do? They go out and win that race.
oh yeah.
And it was
I also think that wreck plays into why he didn't attack on that climb.
That's true. That would make sense. Nonetheless, it was just an awesome win. Beats out it was Ciccone, right?
Yeah,
so Chico makes like the early move, and yeah, Jonas just kept coming and coming and coming and coming and coming, and like just at the perfect time. It was 3 inches.
He's got a good bike throw.
And it's been a while since we've seen it. He gives the 1, 2, 3 for all of the Vinga guards for the fam. Absolutely loved it. Bob and Christian give the moment its due. There was not a peep out of either one of those guys for a good solid like minute and a half at the end of that race when you saw Jonas like come into the finish or whatever, which was really nice. Like
they just let it be.
Catharsis, man. It was just like, yeah, the whole thing was so catharsis. And I mean, oh God, so close. Loved seeing your guy, Felix Gall, up in there in the mix. David Gaudu looking really good in this race.
Yes.
And Egan Bernal.
In the second.
Egan Bernal right there.
What did I tell you? Oh.
And honestly, the top 10 is almost like exactly what you expected to see at basically like any point in the whole race at this point. Like every single person that we were talking about was in the top 10.
I don't think we really talked much about Gaudu. So, let's get in
with the exception of Gaudu. Yeah.
Let's talk about stage 3 now. So
Salt Bay. No, I got a few other other notes from stage 2. An immediate thought that came to mind is like, okay, Jonas. I still feel very confident in Jonas's ability to win this Grand Tour. I think he will win. So at the end of this race, he will be tied with Pog in terms of actual like covering all 3 Grand Tours. You know what I'm saying? He'll have 2 and Pog will have 2. You know what I'm saying? Because Pog's never won the Vuelta and Jonas has never won the Giro.
Oh, okay.
Could Jonas be thinking, I could beat Pogačar to the mark of all 3 Grand Tour wins because he's probably not going to be gone for the Giro next year. You know what I'm saying? He's going to keep chipping away at that Tour de France thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see him going to the Giro again when he's like.
No, I think
okay.
We've talked about this. I think it's going to be classics, big one days in the Tour de France. That's going to be his mark.
Right. So now Jonas is thinking, I can win. I'm going to win this Vuelta, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to win the Giro next year to start the thing, and I will have beaten Tadej Pogačar to the winner of all 3 Grand Tours. That's rarefied air. There's not a lot of guys. That's probably less than 10. I would guess less than 10 guys over the in history are in that club. So that might be a thing for Jonas to be thinking about, because there's probably not a lot else I'm going to beat Tadej Pogačar in.
Well, we've all now. If you're every other person in the pro peloton that has GC aspirations, and Jonas just starts mopping up all the other races that Tadej's not in, Be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I thought it was interesting in Jonas's in his post race interview. He said he's admitted very frankly, it's been a while since my last victory. Like this is why he seems so emotional. It's been a while since my last victory, and he he mentioned that like he came around the corner into the finish, and I guess in his head, these guys they have these like they sit there and they watch these videos of all these finishes, you know what I mean? And like that's their job. So of course their minds are trained to really be able to pay attention to all the details and stuff. At the same time, like it's the same thing day in and day out, watching these finishes and trying to remember stuff. And there's no way you're going to remember every little bit of minutia about that. And what I thought was so cool is he said that like when he came around the corner in his head, he thought it was a little bit shorter. Like as he's coming around the corner, he's thinking, he's got me because it's really short to the finish line. But he said he came around the corner, he noticed, oh, I got a little bit more room to play with than I thought. And that's when he decided to go all in, and he gets it by 3 inches, and in like this split second decision. But it's so interesting to hear him describe that in an interview like that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it was like I said, it was an unexpected way for him to make a statement, and a statement I really do think was made.
Yeah, and one last thing in terms of the GC on this race, who would have thought that David Gaudu, Egan Bernal, Jai Hindley, and Tom Pidcock after stage 2 of the Vuelta would all be in front of both Almeida and Ayuso, who are in like 11th and or 9th.
I was going to say they're
12th.
not even in the top 10 right now.
9th and 12th.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So you want to go on to stage 3?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So obviously, David Gaudu is the one that sneaks in and takes this, in my opinion, completely out of nowhere. Because, the way I'm looking at it, I was thinking, oh shit, man, I think Jonas might win another one, dude. Like the way that he was racing this, like he was like powering up and staying in the front of this race. And I was like, damn, man, like I that was my very first, initial thought was like, oh man, I think he might win another one. And then, Filippo Ganna, it was also like hovering around in there. So I'm like rooting for him.
Mm-hmm.
And, in my opinion, my note says Mads Pedersen's got to be going like, what the hell? All right.
It was his to lose, and he lost it. Like, and just
but you didn't. It was nobody clocked Gaudu. All right, he came out of absolute nowhere.
Move. He just made a perfect biking decision. Like in one moment, he saw an inside line and he took that line. He's a light guy. On the inside of these steep curves, it's steeper on the inside than on the outside.
Right.
It's a lot steeper, but it's a lot shorter because you're on the inside. So Gaudu knows he's a light guy. He goes through those steep little inside curves a lot faster than a big, strong, heavy Mads Pedersen is going to go through there, or even a Jonas Vingegaard.
It just looked like he just came right over him.
Well, that's what he did. As they came into that turn, Pedersen swung about halfway out. About halfway out, not all the way to the out, but about halfway out. And in that moment, Gaudu saw that he could jet that corner. That's what he did. He just made a quick move. I mean, it's a split second thing, and he wins the race, no problem. I mean,
and it sets up for him, okay, going into, I don't know what other notes you have, but just to say it sets up the next day, okay, so in stage 4, while we're just, let's get the GC talk out of the way, because I really would like to talk about Ben Turner on stage 4.
So Jonas hangs on to
the red
jersey after stage 3. He actually is in 3rd place on this stage, which is crazy. Let's talk about that for a second, okay? David Gaudu, 2nd tier GC rider, wins. Mads Pedersen, sprinter, is in 2nd. Jonas Vingegaard,
is 3rd.
One of the top 2 GC riders in the world, is 3rd. Like, it's crazy. Like, yes. Insane.
And in my opinion, had he timed it better, Jonas probably could have won this.
Yeah, that's what I think. I mean, when we were talking earlier about it, he's probably just being smart. Just like don't just be cool. Just win. Just go out there, win this race. You
and
don't
stay and keep it close.
have to. Yeah, and his time is going to come. I mean, if he's doing this well on these kind of stages, these are intermediate stages.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like these guys are not going to be challenging him like this when they get to the high
No,
mountains.
no, not at all.
You know,
He's going to
so
dust them.
yeah, he's going to have many opportunities to ride away from dudes and never be seen again. And I think it's coming.
I
Given
think that
what
he's.
we've-
I think
we've
that
seen
it's
from this guy. He's fired up and he's loose.
well, and I think that from a team standpoint, I think that they're playing it really smart because tomorrow, all right, so we're recording this on Tuesday night. Tomorrow, Wednesday, is the team time trial, and I think that they know that by keeping it close now today, in these early stages, these first four stages, not letting any one wild card get a little edge on him now, they could end up taking a sizable lead, all right, in that team time trial because
They're down a man, but they're definitely one of the top two teams favored going into it, down a man or not.
Look,
I mean, I think it's between them and UAE.
my man Vic Campenarts, as Chris Horner will say, has been bossing it on the front of this race for this team. All right. And I think when they get into that team time trial between Jorgensen and Vingegaard and Campenarts and Kuss, like they could post a number. All right. Like I really, really do think that they can. And they got Dylan Van Barle in there as well. So, I just, I think that they're playing it really, really smart because I think they could get some separation in the GC tomorrow. And I think that they know it. And I think that that's why there's no sense in throwing everything at it immediately when you can, play it smart.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. I just want to just state how thrilled I am to see David Gaudu winning. I mean, he's Salt Bay, he's cute little David Gaudu, and he's another one of those Frenchmen that just has this incredible weight on his shoulders. And I would love to see this guy challenging in this race somehow, some way. It looks like he's on good form. When he's bad, he's real bad. But when he's on good form, he can produce results. There's a reason why he retains his position of leadership on that team. I like the way he's looking. I like seeing Egan Bernal looking so well. Honestly, I like seeing Ciccone look so well. And Trek is almost falling into that two leaders syndrome thing. That we've talked about UAE on, but like Ciccone is a real deal. Like Ciccone can challenge. He's, I think we had it right. I had it right when I had him in at third in my pre-race predictions.
But I'm going to say that there's a key difference with Little Trek and everybody else in the pro level. All right. That is a team that knows who to focus on what day. All right.
Yeah.
Period. Full stop. Mads rides for Ciccone. Ciccone rides for Mads. Like there's a lot. They may have, pulled focuses, but there's definitely no lost focus as far as the team is concerned.
Well, but see, let me ask you though, because so on that stage, you'll recall Ciccone was leading. He led out Mads Pedersen into the very end of that climb, but Ciccone's got his own fight with Jonas Vingegaard, and Jonas Vingegaard is right there, as we just stated. He came in third on the stage, and Ciccone actually came in fourth because he's got to lead out Pedersen
and then stay,
but also try not to lose any time to Jonas Vingegaard. And in fact, he lost 4 seconds of time to Jonas Vingegaard because Jonas was in third and he got 4 bonus seconds. So
I don't know. I think when it gets to the high mountain times, it's all in for Ciccone. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's as big of a problem. Not on that team. On a UAE where the personalities are way bigger and the cohesion isn't necessarily as cohesive and the mental health isn't as good. Like I think maybe you're absolutely correct, especially on, Sudal or T-Rex or whatever you want to call him, like for sure there was nothing good, nothing good mentally coming out of that camp.
For sure. And on any other day, Good Dude does not win this stage. Like he does not make that move, and Mads Pedersen wins this stage.
It was
like,
it was a great move.
So having Ciccone leading him out, I mean, they had a pretty reasonable expectation of a stage win in that moment, so they can be forgiven if Ciccone loses a couple of seconds on GC in an effort to get Mads into that winning spot. Because any other day he would have taken that stage win. So why don't we leave it there, and we're going to take a little break, and when we get back we're going to discuss stage 4 and get into some other bike racing action. Please stay with us.
Don't miss Beyond the Slipstream, our weekly companion podcast to the Team Bus, our domestique, if you will, dropping every Saturday in your usual podcast feed.
All right, we are back, and we're going to get into stage 4 of the 2025 Vuelta with another big sprint stage and somewhat of a surprising winner. Justin, take us through it.
Yeah, it was like a fairly boring stage, to be completely honest. Nothing really happened throughout the entirety until the end, when one young Ben Turner from the Ineos Grenadiers turned on his after-turners and beat Jasper Philipsen.
Assisted by no less than Michal Kwiatkowski, who has just been an absolute rock star.
Yes.
I don't remember which, was it Poland? Yeah, it must have been Poland. Yeah, because Kwiatkowski's involved, where they had that series of incredible lead outs, and I think Turner got a win in that race as well. And I mean, what is Kwiatkowski? He's 36, 37 years old, and he just continues to just hang in there and get it done.
Yes, he does.
Time and time again. He is like, what a road captain that guy is. And Ben Turner is he's looking real good.
So I want to get into the after the stage stuff with him here in a second, but I found it very interesting in this sprint. Plankert was again bossing a lead out for Philipsen, but it just seemed like the two of them couldn't quite just get it done for whatever reason. Jasper definitely got boxed out. Okay, but
I thought he should have been on the inside the whole time. I thought they were perfectly positioned so that he could have come up on Plankert's left and been protected by Plankert in that lead out and just dropped right on through there. And instead, Plankert kept on wavering. So it looked like Philipsen couldn't decide which side he needed to go around.
Right. And Turner made the perfect move by putting himself in the lane next to Plankert. And Philipsen could never.
And at the same time,
make the push.
the guy from Premier Tech came over, and that's what sealed Philipsen's fate. Is just as Turner got up even with Plankert, basically,
there was nowhere for Philipsen to go.
In that spot where Philipsen needed to go up. Who is it? Corbin Strong, I think, from Premier Tech.
I believe so. Yes.
Came over and. Yeah, I've decided to go with the Bob Roll stance on that team, and I'm just going to refer to them as Premier Tech.
Yeah.
Did you catch that?
Yes, I did.
In the broadcast?
Yes.
Like, I got to give Bob Roll props. When they go next to a bullfighting ring, Bob Roll will be like, oh, and there's the such and such bullfighting ring. Bullfighting, a deadly, and brutal, and barbaric sport that should be outlawed right away. Like, he just says that straight up. And right then and there, he's like, I'm not going to refer to that team as Israel Premier Tech because, and you heard him say it, he goes, because I don't think babies should be starved to death. So I'll call them Premier Tech. I think that was that him? I thought it was him.
Yes.
That wasn't like,
it was. Not Christian.
Yeah. That was pretty awesome. And Philipsen, when he finally got a hole, Ben Turner was gone.
Yeah, see, there wasn't any stopping him. Now, after the race, like, oh my God, the emotion on Ben Turner
was sobbing.
Just like, and you could hear it on the mic. I do kind of kind of can't stand like the guy that was like shoving the mic like up under his arms.
No, no, that's good. That's good. That's good.
I just,
That's the product that we're paying for. Like
I know,
that's
but
good shit, man.
it's very invasive. You could hear it just fine on the microphone from the camera. So
Yeah, but having that shot up underneath there was something special, man.
no,
You're
the
talking
shot
about
was
it right
fine.
now.
I'm talking about the guy that was taking his mic from Eurosport and like jamming it up under his arm. The shot was fine. But yes,
all that sound, everything about it, it felt very visceral.
He is sobbing and just, you know, I think Bob made the point, or maybe it was Christian, about, it just shows you how hard it is, to win a race and how emotional it is when you're able to get it done. And look, again, for this guy, this is like beating Pogacar because, Philipsen is a beast. All right, to say that you beat Jasper Philipsen in a heads up sprint, that's something to say. All right, not only is it a stage win in the Vuelta, but it's beating one of the best sprinters in the absolute world with one of the best lead out guys in the world.
Yeah, yeah, and it just goes to show. I mean, that's another thing that's so great about this sport that we love so much is like a win. It's such a big prize.
Yes,
a world tour level win is just such a huge prize. And yeah, there's a handful of guys out there that win races pretty consistently, and it's not the same. But for so many guys out there, winning a world tour stage is huge. Winning a grand tour stage, that's like another level. That just these things are like so career defining. These are moments that are just like, they're hard to quantify for these guys. And so I love it when we get to see all that emotion pouring out of him. And to his credit, he pulled his shit back together for the interview.
Oh yeah.
He was making sense in the interview. It was good. And something very important happened on this stage because David Gaudu finished like 12 places ahead of Jonas Vingegaard or something like that.
Yep.
And he needed to finish like 8 places ahead of Jonas
and 3 placements
in order to take the red jersey. Yes. So it's interesting. It's like basically the way they calculate that, if you are exactly even on time, the way the calculation is made is they just sort of tally up where you finished on all the previous stages. So like, stage 1, you got 3rd and he got 6th. On stage 2, you got 4th and he got 5th. And when you put all those together and whoever got the lower number, that's the guy in red. And so the calculation today was Gaudu had to come in like 8th or better, I think, or he had 8 places ahead of Jonas, and he did it. So he got the red jersey.
Yeah, and it's super
kind of cool.
Super fan. Like I absolutely love that, and it doesn't hurt Visma at all. Like it doesn't. It's completely wrong. In fact, Jonas is probably happy about it because he got to get out of doing all the dumb press shit.
Well, and even more importantly, Jonas does not have to wear the red skin suit that comes from the tour organizers. Jonas gets to wear his Visma Lisa bike, purpose built, exactly his down to the millimeter specifications skin suit in the TTT tomorrow, which is
and it plays into what I was saying earlier.
Far bigger concern.
Yes. So
and Visma Lisa bikes, TTT bikes, were not stolen in the 19 bikes that were stolen.
That's crazy.
So it's like, how in the world is a team like Visma Lisa bike? This is a juggernaut. Like, this is a giant corporation. How in the F are they getting their bikes stolen? 19 of their bikes. It's because they travel around these. It's crazy that this is like a major sporting event. They're traveling around like little like 1-horse towns in Spain, in Italy, and like packing their whole team into the parking lot of some dumpy hotel, and their bikes are back there and their trailers and their team buses and everything, and like they're all up there in the hotel, and these thieves are just rolling up, and apparently like they used violence was the term I heard. It took an extreme amount of violence to get the door popped open on this vehicle or whatever this thing was where they had the bikes, and off they go. And apparently these guys like they they uh, they head straight for the closest woods or some place where they can like sort of quickly stash them, and then they come with whatever vehicles they have available to them and take the ones that they can get. But sometimes they end up leaving some behind. So a lot of times in these in these theft incidents, of which we've heard of several this year, some of the bikes will be recovered almost immediately, like in the outlying woods and stuff like that. But they will make off with some number of the top end Cervelos.
And this
These are $20,000 bikes that they're going to
these
turn
are
around
probably
and sell for like
$30,000 bikes.
they're going to turn around and sell them for like $3,000.
You got to remember, an off the rack Cervelo for you or me is probably $10,000-$12,000.
Probably not that much, but probably 5 or 6.
These bikes, these specially designed bikes that are everything being the highest possible quality and best parts, probably 20 to 30K each. So I mean, if they got away with 19 bikes, they got away with $500,000 in bikes probably.
Yeah, I heard the estimates were between 250 and 400,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Worth of bikes that they lost. So
now
it is crazy.
Do you assume that they are just like the bikes are like they're immediately just like, okay, we need another set with all these specs, and it's like they're straight to the concourse building the bikes?
I am not sure.
Is there a contingency? Do they have contingency plans for shit like this?
I'm not sure. I think they have to scramble. I think they have a number of frames, extra frames, like they're on site, maybe that didn't get taken or whatever. They had to build. I'm sure they were working through the night to build up new bikes for the guys. But Jonas said that he had 3 bikes, and he still had all 3 of his bikes the next day. So like they didn't get his bikes. They got a number of bikes, but I don't know. I mean, I guess when you're talking about a team of 8 riders or 7 riders, they probably have 3 bikes for each of those guys. That's 21 bikes. And then they probably have like another like 10 bikes.
Yeah.
As backup. So who knows? I did hear
they probably all have the 3 bikes, and then they probably have at least 1 or 2 time trial bikes as well.
Yeah, or the time trial bikes might get brought in specially, depending on the situation or whatever. But yeah, they're probably not dragging those around for the entire freaking race just for one day. But I also heard that many of the teams and the other teams in the peloton were immediately like reaching out to them, like, let us know if you need components, if you need bar tape, whatever you need, like let us know, and
that's good.
We'll pitch in to make sure that you guys have your bikes ready to go come morning. So that's pretty awesome to hear.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Ineos gets a big Grand Tour win, and the stage is set. David Gaudu is in red going into the TTT, and it's going to get interesting tomorrow. Let's pivot now to the feel-good stage race of the year, in my opinion, the Renui Tour. Oh
okay.
my God, you want to talk about Ben Turner crying at the end of today's stage. Oh my God, I was in the feels for the end of the Renui Tour. My God, it's so good. So we'll start from the top though in stage 1, flat sprint stage. This used to be called the Benelux Tour. Now it's called the Renui Tour. Flat sprint stage, Jose Bain on the call, and who else?
She might be my favorite of everybody.
She's fantastic.
Yeah,
she's fantastic.
Especially of
Hannah Walker.
But again, maybe I should say that she's my favorite when when she's on the solo. All right, like
she can hold it down on the solo.
She really
can. Her McCrossan can hold it down on the solo. Jess Cox can hold it down on the solo.
It's very different, dude. She's really good, man.
Yeah.
She's really, really good. All right. Anyway.
Flat sprint stage, and Tim Merlier just dusts it up on there. Perfect lead out from Quick Step. They're back to doing what they do best, and Tim Merlier is not going to lose this sprint. There's no chance in 2025 that Tim Merlier does not win the opening sprint of the Renewey Tour off the back of a perfect quick step lead. But Tim Merlier was not the only sprinter in this race. And on stage 2, we got an appearance from our boy on Visma Lisa bike, Olaf.
Looking strong as hell as usual.
Wearing number 31.
This team has such a predicament having both of those guys, man. God.
Okay, so here's one thing that
embarrassment of riches on Visma.
Here's what I'm really, really, really psyched about for this particular race was the return of one Christophe Laporte.
Yes, out of nowhere.
In there.
Did not expect it.
And being a difference maker. He was there leading out Coy.
Yes.
I think he was he wasn't last man, but he was second to last man.
Yes.
And I got to hand it to Olaf Koy in this race. First of all, he's wearing number 31, which is my favorite number. 400 meters to go. He's way back in like 10th wheel. But just being
playing
super calm,
cool.
Reading the race, seeing where the moves are going, and just waits for his moment and crushes it. Milan Frenton of Cofidis got a relegation, a yellow card for elbowing. Literally, you saw his hand leave the handlebar to go after the guy.
Very deserved.
And because of that,
he retained the lead that day. Milan, not Milan, but Merlier. He
retains the race lead.
He kept the lead because Frentin was relegated.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that there was a race earlier in the year where I was like really, really, really loving one of the jerseys. It was the Combativity jersey. It's another one of those Belgian. It was probably Tour of Belgium, would be my guess. The white jersey with like the 4 stripes down around the stomach area. Yeah. It's back. It's back. It's the Combativity jersey. And American Colby Simmons, best young rider.
Yeah.
At least after stage 2. I don't know what
Quinn's little brother.
Did he win in the end? Did he retain that?
I honestly, I don't know. I didn't put it down in my notes.
Stage 3.
I just had the winners.
Stage 3
statement win. It's
the statement win. It's the Mur. I can't remember which one it is. It's like the Mur something, but it's the famous Mur that they use in the Tour of Flanders, where it goes up and you see the church up at the top of the climb, and then they make the right turn. And that's where the main move went, and it was Wellens, DeLee, and Van der Poel. Like what a classics combo right there.
And Tim Wellens,
DeLee, and Van der Poel
in Belgium, in the Belgian,
racing up the Mur
with the Belgian jersey.
Right. It's like in case you were missing April, here you go.
Here's a
enjoy
taste.
Enjoy this delicious little treat. And they all hang in there. They managed to separate Wellens. And DeLee and Van der Poel contested out to the finish, 2-up sprint, and Van der Poel gets the best of them. But DeLee gets the consolation prize, the race leader's jersey.
Yes.
In the Renewey Tour, which is like kind of like like his home country race.
Well, and he's a guy that I bring up a good bit, and I was so happy to see him win. I mean, I really didn't think that he stood a chance against Van der Poel. He really didn't stand a chance against Van der Poel in the very, very end of that. But coming away with the consolation prize of taking the lead, and then what eventually happens with him is.
And Van der Poel had to absolutely bury himself to win that thing. I don't know if you caught that, but at the end of that stage, Van der Poel was absolutely destroyed. So that boded well. And it's just so funny to see this battle happening between Van der Poel and DeLee. And yet in the same race, you've also got Tim Merlier mopping up sprint stages. You know what I mean? It's like there's these like 2 completely separate sort of like sprinting stories happening in this. race with Merlier and Coy, and then Van der Poel and De Lee. Very interesting race in that regard. On stage 4, once again, Tim Merlier mopping up another sprint. This is like his, what is it? It's like his 14th win of the season or something like that.
I think it was his 13th. Maybe
Nah,
it's
14th. Yeah. 14 wins. He just wins and wins and wins. There was a breakaway and Yves Lampert from Quick Step from the T-Rexes does massive amounts of work to bring the break back so that Merlier could get his chance. Olaf Koy launches too early. Merlier times it perfectly, waits till like 100 meters to go, and Koy is just gassed. Merlier dusts them all. Bittner pips Koy to take second. Watching the slow-mo of this sprint, Merlier is he's just got such skills. He's just looking for this gap, couldn't find the gap. He's boxed in, keeping his cool, back in the saddle, moves right, sees over, okay, this is where I need to go. I still got a little bit of time, and then boom, afterburners, and takes the win. Jose Bain points out a very interesting fact about Tim Merlier's 2025 season, and that is that he wins in twos. Tim Merlier won 2 stages of the Alula Tour, 2 stages of the UAE Tour, 2 stages of Paris-Nice, 2 stages in the Baloise Belgium Tour, 2 stages in the Tour de France, and now 2 stages in the Renouille Tour.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. Absolutely nuts.
That's crazy.
He won 2 stages in 6 different races. Crazy. De Lee retains the yellow jersey or whatever color by 1 second over Van der Poel. And another participant in this race that's just absolutely done jack squat this entire year is Biniam Girmay.
Yeah.
Just like talk
Doesn't
about
have
like a completely off season. Like, how is this possible, man? I really hope he gets it back together and that last year is not just a crazy fluke. I mean, he got it. He'll always have it. He won the green jersey in the Tour de France. He's the first this guy and the first that guy and all that kind of stuff. But damn, like this season, it's just been nothing.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
I agree.
So
I agree.
That takes us up to stage 5, and what an absolute stage this was.
This was so good, dude.
The joy that I got from this stage. Once again, you got Van der Poel and Wellens out in front, late stages of the race, and you got Bettiol and Tom Scoynes up there with them. They're out trying to get bonus seconds. You got a dangerous group. They get caught with like 13K to go. They hit the green kilometer, which is like this bonus second kilometer thing that they got going in this race. And Van der Poel beats out De Lee. De Lee had caught up with them, and Van der Poel gets 3 seconds on Arnaud De Lee, narrowing this gap down between the two of them for the overall.
Which basically puts De Lee essentially in a position where it's win or nothing.
Yeah, he has to beat Van der Poel, or he does not win this race, and he does it. He beats him in the sprint. He just he makes the right move at the right time, and kind of looked like Van der Poel just kind of ran out of gas.
It did.
Less than 10 meters from the finish, and he looked over and he saw him, and
De Lee looked like he had the fire of 1,000 suns in his belly.
Yes, and
biggest win in years for him.
The slow-mo. Let's just talk about the slow-mo. Just right after he has crossed the finish line, he is already like breaking, like just the sobs are coming on as he is sitting up and celebrating his win. And who is right there to congratulate him but Mathieu Van der Poel? Like, he's got his hand out. They are riding hand in hand. Like, De Lee is like, hand on his head, like, I can't believe this just happened. And Van der Poel is holding his hand. Like, it's such good sportsmanship. Oh my God. And then like De Lee kind of comes to a stop amongst his team, and Vanderpool had ended up over here, but then immediately Vanderpool's right back over there to him, like congratulating. It's like I congratulated you while we were on the bike and gave you the hand thing, but now I'm going to come over and give you like the full blown hug, like, and tell you like how happy I am for you, bro. Like you deserve this. Like
and
this
he did.
is
He deserved it as much as anybody in the pro peloton.
And DeLee, his dad was there right at the end, and they were talking about how like, oh, that's got to be his dad because look at that guy, he looks just like him. 100%. And I mean, oh my God, his dad is just sitting there with his arm around him, like this is my boy, and like, and just the comfort between the two guys, you know, that Arnaud wasn't trying to keep up any kind of bravado or whatever. He's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna sob. This is my dad. I don't even care. It's just
it was great.
So sweet. I'm putting that down as a finalist for moment of the year. For sure. I mean, it was just so sweet to see him. And he takes not only his first big win in a long time, but in doing so secures the overall lead, and it's in Belgium in front of a home crowd.
Yeah.
So pretty great thing to see.
Chapeau to him, man.
Yeah, made me exceedingly happy. So let's jump into Deutschland Tour.
So lot going on in this race. The prologue on Wednesday, which Soren Warrenskold ends up winning for Team Uno X.
A sprinter wins the TT. What's going on in 2025? Like the the variety of just like
weird things. Yes.
Weird people doing weird. Yeah, like the sprinter wins the 3 point. I guess it's because it was only 3.1 kilometers long. But he beat out Sam Watson.
Yes.
Who's also a sprinter.
Yes.
So.
And Wout van Aert and Lawrence Pithy and Marco Haller and so many great riders that were in that race. He beat them all. So.
Crazy. Speaking of sprinters, though, stage one.
Our boy, Visma Lease Bikes superstar, Matty Brennan, baby, takes a huge win against a non-existent Jonathan Milan.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Ooh, you got a ton of notes on this stage. Look at you. Holy moly.
Wait, on this stage?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, Jez Cox is pointing out that this guy, one of the guys that was in the breakaway, this guy Vincent Dorn, was on this team Bike Age Bike Aid. Mm-hmm. And he was like, Jez Cox was talking about how it's like the best jersey in the peloton. So
it's pretty great.
Picture in there. It's a kind of a hot mess, but also kind of great. The left shoulder is really nice, for sure.
The left shoulder is like, yeah. I see what you're saying.
Got Garen Thomas racing.
Did you see the people that had like the Snickers bar on the sign for him?
No.
It was like something. It was like there was some catchy. I wish I should have wrote it down. There was like some catchy phrase. It was like something for G or something for this and Snickers for G. It was great.
Yeah, the old man can eat whatever he wants.
Yeah, exactly.
Tour of Britain's his last race,
and he definitely took that Snickers right off the sign.
Oh man, I gotta see that. That's fantastic. All right, so
let's motor through because I don't want to miss out talking about Danny Van Poppel. So, stage 2 Friday, you get Jonathan Narvaez with a really nice win, dude. Like he looked so good in this sprint. I really was rooting for Riley Sheehan, but boy, dude, like Narvaez looks so good in this.
Yeah, and poor Riley Sheehan makes that rookie mistake on this finish and just gets pipped. Thinks he's got it won and sits up and like no sooner had he sat up to celebrate that he looks left or looks right and sees Narvaez and knows immediately, and he's just like, Why do these guys do it, man? Like, just train yourself. You don't celebrate until you're 5 meters
Especially not
past
in
the
the race
finish
like
line.
this.
No, not when you're sprinting out like that. It's just crazy. He knew immediately that he blew it. But hey, Jonathan Narvaez, he's a real deal.
Oh yeah, he's a racer.
He won Grand Source stages. He won on Walunga Hill.
So next comes the very very controversial stage 3 that's been all over the news. Danny Van Poppel takes the win. All right, but is relegated, and let me tell you that this is absolutely just split the cycling world as far as like what people are saying about it, what you know, what how people feel about it. Obviously Danny is is notorious for this. This is not the first time that he's been involved in these things, and you know, I don't have a problem with the relegation. All right, I'll go on record as saying that I do not have a problem with it. He clearly delineated from his line. He clearly came, completely over. Um, you know, Completely closed the door on Matthew Brennan, and I still think he probably, if he had held his line, I think he wins no matter what. So like,
Exactly. And that's the thing about Danny Van Poppel is this man has a string. He has a streak of sociopathy in him. All right, he's effed up in the head. He likes to take dudes out. He likes to deviate from his line because, as you just said, all he had to do was ride in a straight line and he would have won the race. But that guy doesn't care. It's more important to him to F with other riders than for him to win the race. He's sociopathic. And the fact that he's still riding is a travesty. He has like 5 yellow cards this year and he's still riding. What is the point of the yellow card system if a guy like this is still out there endangering dudes week after week after week?
no, I couldn't agree more, and I find it shocking that the goat got involved in on social media on this. So Tadej Pogacar had words, all right, and this is what he said. So he had
Yeah.
two different Instagram stories, and he said, the clear winner of today's stage, all right. This speaking about Danny Van Poppel, these relegations are absolute jokes and are not correct. Job done poorly, like so many times this year. Congrats, Danny Van Poppel, you won. Don't get me wrong. If they're relegating riders here, they can relegate 4 to 5 riders. Look at all the pictures. Peace out. Don't agree. Do not
Yeah, that
agree.
is aggravating. And it's just like, why? Why do you need to weigh in on this, dude? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Don't be that guy.
So, now there is something in this stage. I'm going to bring it up on Beyond the Slipstream. There's another architectural thing, and when you're going in later to look at your notes, I want you to go to my notes because there's a really really cool thing at the end of this stage that I caught while I was like rewatching all of this. So we'll go over that later. Let's move on to Sunday and stage 4 and talk about this final, like, 5K with, Wout Van Aert and Visma like just completely dominating the end of this race. All right. They are absolutely, they have 4 riders, Brennan and 3 other guys. They got Wout Van Aert on right in front of Brennan, and then they've got 2 other riders leading them out, and absolutely control the end of this race. All right, they are never not in control, and Wout Van Aert does an amazing lead out for Brennan. Gets it separated a little bit towards the end, but still is able to kind of maintain the line, and he ends up being one rider back from Wout, third wheel, right at the tip of the spear, and is able to pull out and pull around, and again beat Jonathan Milan. All right, again, not once but twice in this race.
Yeah,
He's beat Milan.
that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, Milan got it done when he needed to get it done in the big race. But all of this just bodes well for Brennan. That guy. 2026 is the year that he starts mopping up Grand Tour stage wins.
I mean, look, at this point, he's on, I believe it's 12 wins. 13 wins. He's one behind Merlier with 14. All right, and he's only 3 wins behind Tadej Pogacar.
It's crazy.
How do you not send him to Grand Tours next year? I mean, there's just no chance. So, he also had a great quote. I want to shout out Matt Brennan. All of my teammates played a really important role in keeping me out of trouble, especially in the technical final. A lot could have happened, but the guys did a fantastic job of keeping the pressure on and keeping me safely at the front in the final. We have Matisse. All right, that's Matisse Van Kerhove. He's only 18, but he led us all in the last 3 kilometers. That was really impressive. Then to be able to finish the work of Wout van Aert and Nicholas Behrens is really great. Like, love this kid. 20 years old, by the way. 20 years old.
It's so cool to see this legacy team.
13 pro wins.
This legacy team that's like got all of these like stone cold legends on their team. This is a team of Jonas, Wout van Aert, Sepp Kuss, Tish Benoot, Wilco Kelderman, Matteo Jorgensen, like guys that have proven themselves. And yet look how robust this young squad is that they've got.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like, I mean, all lined up behind Matty Brennan.
This is a team that's not worried about losing top tier riders because they've got top tier riders that they are just grooming in the lower ranks.
Mm-hmm.
And look, if he's contesting against Jonathan Milan in a race like this and beating him, there's zero reason that he can't compete for Giro stage wins, for Tour stage wins, you know what I mean, and Vuelta stage wins next year. And he's very likely to win. I want to see him up against these guys because I'm telling you, the kid's got a fire in his belly that's unbelievable.
Yeah, and he's a bike racer too. Like he can read a race situation really, really well. He's not just like incredibly on form right now, and that's why he's winning. No, he's winning because he's on form and he knows how to win. He knows how to race his bike. He understands positioning. He understands when to expend energy. He knows where he needs to be going into a finish, and then and only when he's ready to turn on that speed, then he's got the speed to finish it out. Because if you looked at the way he won that last stage of that race, man, he was blazing, and he had clean set of wheels in front of
3 or 4, maybe 5 wins. You might say it's a fluke. The kid has 13 wins this season. He's been winning the whole season. All right, he hasn't let off the gas the whole season.
Incredible. And what's so amazing is I literally can think back to like back in March or April or something in the early spring season, saying to you one time, you heard about this Brennan kid that Visma Lease bike's got? Apparently he won like on 3 days in a row or something like that. And we're like, yeah, let's look into this. And now we're talking about him like he's like been around forever. It's just incredible. What a season.
Well, it's because we've talked about him winning 13 different times this year.
What a banger of a season. Really incredible. Well, he took stage 4, and the overall went to Soren Werenskold of Team Uno X Mobility.
And I think he deserved it.
Deutschland Tour.
I think he deserved it big time.
Yeah,
the guy
he was absolutely
raced
in the mist.
Great race.
The guy won a time trial, for God's sake. So, all right, we're going to leave it there. When we come back, we will be taking yet another ride in the Broom Wagon. Please stay with us. All right, we are back, and it's time for another ride in the Broom Wagon. Justin, what have you got for us?
So, one of my favorite shows of maybe last year, or maybe it was the year before, came back for a second season this week, and that is Peacemaker with John Cena Have you seen this show at all?
I have not. I know nothing about it.
Okay. Did you see either of the Suicide Squad movies?
I did not.
Okay, so the second Suicide Squad movie was the first movie that James Gunn did for the DC universe of movies, and
It's like before Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, it's after Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like the first thing he did for them.
Oh, for DC, not
for
Marvel.
DC, correct.
Gotcha.
Correct. So in this, he has, as part of his, because essentially the story of Suicide Squad, very loosely, from the comic books, is it's a superhero squad of villains. It's super villain squad turned hero. Okay, so they're called Task Force X, and the government arrests all of these supervillains and then creates a team to go out and do covert ops. So James Gunn takes over the second movie, really kind of just revamps the whole thing. It's very, very, different feel. It's very, very good. But he introduces this character played by John Cena called Peacemaker. And Peacemaker is an extremely violent, all right, anti-hero. And his whole shtick is that he's like the most dangerous person with a weapon. Doesn't matter what the weapon is, he's very, very dangerous with it. And so it's very brutal, and he's a lot of killing and all this. They give this character a spin-off series on HBO, and it's crude and it's vulgar and it's the complete opposite of anything that you've ever seen come out of the Marvel universe. And it's so damn good. All right. John Cena's good in it. The cast of characters around him that, all kind of fall out of the movie and follow him around, which is like Vanessa Kirby, and his father's played by I want to say Neil Patrick Harris, but not Jason Patrick. The guy that played the T-1000 in Terminator 2.
Robert
Patrick, thank you. He plays his father, and it's this really, like, the first season is this really sad story about essentially about a father and a son. And, this kid grew up with an extremely violent father, and, it begat a child of violence. And, John Cena goes through this very emotional journey in the first season of learning to cope with, his childhood, under the tutelage of this really, dangerous man that was his father, who pitted his sons against each other in fights. And, his brother dies really early, but he goes on this extremely emotional journey. It's very, very good. Season 2 debuted the other night. Picks up with the emotional stuff, right after, and there's this extremely touching scene that I picked up on, and then it was really funny as I was watching a little vignette about it afterwards. They make mention that it was a complete ad lib by Robert Patrick, but he gets a chance. This main character, Chris, gets a chance to meet a different version of his father, who is the exact opposite of his father, and he's loving and nurturing, and there's this really touching scene where he gets to meet them. His father's dead in the series, and his brother is also dead, and he gets to be with his father and his brother in this very loving situation. And Robert Patrick, in the scene, gets up and he says, he's like, I gotta go to bed, and he tells his son that he loves him, and Robert Patrick grabs John Cena's ear and just gently rubs his ear and says, I love you, son, and walks away. And it's just like, oh my God, man, this show is just done so damn well. It's just the complete opposite of anything superhero related that's out there. I couldn't recommend it more. If give it a shot. I'd recommend starting with The Suicide Squad, which is James Gunn's movie that really sets it up. Start there, watch season 1, jump into season 2. It's really, really great.
Who are the 4 members of the Suicide Squad? I know that's Harley Quinn and the Joker, and then who are the other 2?
No, so in James Gunn's iteration, it is, it's more. So you have Idris Elba, who plays like a sharpshooter character, which I honestly I can't remember what his name is, like Kill Shot or something like that. You have Harley Quinn. You have on there. I'm trying to think there's a whole bunch of them that get introduced. There's like two squads. I don't want to.
Which one is Jared Leto in?
He's like the villain in the first Suicide Squad movie. He's like involved in that. He's not involved in this. He's really that, like, they distance themselves in the second movie. That's why I say you almost really don't even need to watch that one. Just watch the James Gunn one and go from there. Just you really don't need.
Margot Robbie was in the first one. Who plays Harley Quinn in the second one?
Margot Robbie. She's the only continuity thing that travels over.
Interesting.
They also have the Man Shark, Mamanwe. They have like I said, Idris Elba. They got John Cena. They got a girl that plays the rat catcher's daughter, so she controls rats. I'm trying to think. Oh, they have David DeSmalchin, who we've mentioned multiple times, plays Polka Dot Man. It's very fun. So start with that and then jump into Peacemaker Season 2. I'm telling you, it's very, very good.
I'll put it on the long list.
I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. I wouldn't tell you to watch something if I didn't think.
And Cena's not goofy, because like when I think of John Cena, I just think
he's goofy, but he's also has this, like, I'm telling you, man, that guy's got range that you don't expect. I'm telling you. Very. Right. I'm telling you, it gets into him. It's like, look, it's extremely absurd. Okay, like it is verging on just complete and utter insanity. He's like. You'll kind of hate him because he's like Mr. America, and you know but it's this skewer on what it's a great skewer on what's going on right now, and it's completely goofy. He has an eagle for a pet named Eagly. All right, and like I say that, and you sound like you know I could feel you wanting to roll your eyes on it. But I'm telling you, it works. I don't know why. It's just really friggin' good.
James Gunn doesn't do the show, does he?
He's involved. I don't think he directed it, but I definitely think he's involved in writing it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But again, he's going to be the Kevin Feige of that universe.
I have no idea who that is.
The guy that runs Marvel.
James Gunn is going to be
he's going to be the guy that really brings, dude, because we already talked about watching the new Superman movie, man. I'm telling you, it's all really good, man. What they're doing over there right now is it's very different and it's very good.
All right. Sounds good. My Broom Wagon today, I put a link in there for you to a YouTube video. It's Billy Strings and Bella Fleck doing Bella Fleck's composition called Boulder Dash.
Yes.
What is your relationship to either of these two artists?
A huge Bela Fleck fan, like big time. Super bluegrass. Dude, one of my favorite bluegrass albums is a Bela Fleck album, and you know. He can stroke it on the old banjo, my friend. But
the great thing about Bela Fleck is he's a lot more than just bluegrass. Like he's not like Ricky Skaggs is bluegrass. Bela Fleck, he's not bluegrass the way Ricky Skaggs is bluegrass. You know what I mean? Like this man has written
absolutely disagree. I would say that Bela Fleck is more than Ricky Skaggs, but Bela Fleck is just as bluegrass as Ricky Skaggs as far. I mean, maybe not in the history of it, but
that's not what I mean to say. His bluegrass is not his only lane.
No. I agree with that. I'll agree with that statement.
This man is an avant-garde artist that has taken the banjo to many, many other places that traditional bluegrass does not go.
I agree with that statement.
Does he have like the entirety of the bluegrass DNA in his fingers? Yes, he does. But where he goes with that is anybody's guess. And this song Boulder Dash is an absolute perfect example. of that. It's got some crazy chord progressions, and it just goes some really interesting places. And what I love about this video, so you said you're a big Bela Fleck fan. What do you know about Billy Strings?
He is the new hot item as far as bluegrass and jam bands are concerned at this point. Less familiar with him. I mean, definitely have listened to a lot of it, but just not been in a super bluegrassy groove in the last couple of years. But he's very, very good. I've watched many, many YouTube videos, and I wouldn't say that I'm a big fan or anything like that. But I have friends that are huge fans. I have one friend that's probably seen him 20 times.
Wow. Yeah, he's definitely sort of on the pointy end of bluegrass music right now. He's playing all kind of big festivals and stuff like that. He's got a huge following.
Huge,
and
huge Middle Earth guy too.
And he's got the goods. Like this man
yeah.
can play.
Yes,
and
he's got chops for days.
He's a product of YouTube, so he's got a really, really famous song, like probably his most famous song, "Dust in a Baggie."
Yes,
a song about like getting pinched for a little bit of cocaine, just a little bit of a dust in a baggie, and now I'm going to jail for 20 years for having some dust in a baggie. I mean, it's a great, very simple, straightforward concept for a song, and it's perfectly executed. It is as bluegrass as a song will ever get, this song. And what's kind of cool about it is like he definitely has experience with drugs and addiction and family dysfunction and all kinds of stuff in his past. 'Cause I've heard some long form interviews with this guy. He's been through it. But he had a very turbulent relationship with both of his parents, and especially his dad. And in "Dust in a Baggie," he references his dad. The chorus of the song, he said, what does he say? This life of sin has got me in. I'm going back to prison once again. I used my only phone call to contact my daddy. He got 20 long years for some dust in a baggie. So even in his most famous song, he's talking about how he called his dad in a time of crisis, and his dad was the guy that taught him how to play banjo. And the YouTube video that put this guy on the map was when he was like a young, like tow-headed young guy, and he had written that song, which was really
well
ahead
beyond
of its
his
time.
years.
Yeah, well, exactly, well beyond his years. This young guy, but he's already channeling that kind of emotion. And did you watch that video where his one long hair friend is standing there in the frame the whole time, like tapping his foot as he's playing it? Yeah. And it's like the song is, I mean, it's exquisite. It's just fully formed and fully done when he's 17 years old or whatever. So anyways, so this guy goes on to like conquer the world of bluegrass essentially, and really kind of mainstream it in a big way in the past like 5 or 6 years. And he's very in touch with the times. He obviously, as I mentioned, he does YouTube videos and stuff like that, but he also does like a lot of cover songs, and he covers like interesting stuff. And like you were saying, he kind of gets into the jam band thing. The man will definitely do he'll do a 12-minute song where it's just like tons and tons of soloing and stuff like that, because as I said, he's got the absolute chops. And what I love about this video that I have referenced in this Broom Wagon, Bela Fleck and Billy Strings Boulder Dash, is he has the know-how. He has the insight to be able to recognize the genius of Bela Fleck and to prostrate himself at the altar of Bela Fleck. He gets an opportunity to play with this guy, and he's going to learn the Bela Fleck song, and he's going to learn that song backwards and forwards and inside out. And you listen to these guys playing that song, and it bounces back and forth. It's got kind of a framework that's centered around a main riff that they come back to, but there's plenty of room for soloing. And within the chord structure of the song, he's got the solos down, and he is just absolutely like wizarding his way through these solos. And then as soon as he's done his solo and he passes it over to Bela, Bela is just like doing his thing, and you can just see the look on his face, just like he's so in the moment. He's in the
Yeah.
pocket, as they say. He's in the pocket. It's just such a joy to watch this guy who's like, this guy has conquered the world in the last 5 years. But you watch that video, and it's distilled down to exactly what this guy's essence is, which is just a pure love of music, of playing these songs, of learning these really interesting chord progressions, and just being right there in the pocket. It's an absolute joy to watch. Check it out. I linked it in the show notes. It's a really wonderful video, and go down the Billy Strings rabbit hole. The guy's great, and
Dude, look at some of his Middle Earth shows where he like does all the Hobbit and stuff, dude. Like the Tolkien stuff. It's good.
Yeah, he's fantastic. So that is all for this week. So join us next week. We're continuing our coverage of the 2025 Vuelta a España. We're going to cover the classic Lorient Agglomeration and the Breton Classic. Until then, for my brother Justin, I'm Matt Harper. Thanks for listening. We hope you'll join us again soon for another ride in the team bus. Allez.
The Team Bus is a production of Harperama. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Please like and subscribe, smash that button, leave a 5-star review, and most importantly, tell all your friends about us. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time. Allez!